All right, let's just get right into it. Is your phone actually listening to you? It's the question we've all asked, right? Maybe you've whispered it to a friend or just had that suspicious feeling late at night. Well, today, we're going to get to the bottom of it. Not with feelings, but with facts.
I mean, you know the scene. You're just chatting with a friend about something totally random, something you have never Googled. Maybe it's a specific brand of cat food. And then, boom, you open up an app and suddenly ads for that exact cat food are just everywhere. It's creepy, it feels impossible, and it makes you ask that one burning question.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? That feeling is completely valid. It feels so true. But what we're about to find out is that the truth behind those ads, well, it isn't really about a spy in your pocket. It's actually something way more systematic and, honestly, even more interesting.
So let's start by putting a name to this feeling. It's what people call the eavesdropping phone myth. And you know what? It's probably one of the most stubborn beliefs of the digital age. But what's the actual claim here?
The idea itself is super simple. It's a straight line. I said some words out loud, my phone's microphone picked them up, and now some advertiser is inside my head. It seems plausible, kind of straightforward, and if we're being honest, it's a little terrifying. But does the theory actually hold water?
To find out, we have to do something kinda tough. We need to put that creepy feeling aside for just a minute and look at the technology itself. Let's get into the nuts and bolts of that little device sitting in your hand.
And what's really interesting here is just how specific these conditions are. Your microphone isn't just an open ear waiting to catch a conversation. It actually needs a trigger. You have to be actively making a call or recording a memo, or you see that little orange or green dot at the top of your screen telling you, hey, the mic is on. It's definitely not a free-for-all.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. But what about Siri or Google? Aren't they always listening? Well, yes and no. They're listening for one thing, and one thing only, that wake word. The best way to think about it is like a super well-trained dog. It hears all the chatter in the room, but its ears only perk up when it hears its name. Until you say, hey Siri, everything else is just background noise to it.
So here's the really crucial point. For your phone to be constantly recording, processing, and then uploading huge audio files of your day, it would be a technical nightmare. Your battery would be dead in like an hour. It would suck up all your data, and honestly, it would create a massive, easily detectable privacy scandal for companies that spend billions trying to convince us that they care about our privacy.
Okay, so if your phone isn't some secret agent with its ear to the door, what on earth explains those shockingly accurate ads? If the microphone isn't the weapon, who's the real culprit? Well, it's about time we met the prime suspect.
And this question right here, this is the one that gets us to the heart of the matter. Because that experience is absolutely real. The ads are hyper-relevant. So if it's not the microphone doing the work, there has to be another explanation. And trust me, there is.
And here it is. This is the big reveal. Your phone doesn't need to listen to your words because it is relentlessly watching your actions. Every single search, every website you go to, every video you pause on for just an extra second, every place you take it, every purchase you make, even what your friends and family are looking at online. It all creates this giant cascade of digital clues about who you are and what you're going to want next.
And this is basically how it all works. It's not magic, it's a machine. You leave behind this long trail of data crumbs. Then, these incredibly powerful algorithms connect all the dots, and they find patterns you probably wouldn't even see yourself. They use all that to predict what you'll be interested in tomorrow, and then bam, they serve you an ad. They don't need to hear you talk about cat food if you spent 2 extra seconds looking at a cat video yesterday.
If you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this shift in thinking. We all imagine our phone is a spy, secretly listening in from the shadows. But the reality is, it's a detective. And we are the ones willingly, though maybe unknowingly, handing it a mountain of evidence about ourselves every single day.
So, if all the technical evidence points away from the microphone and towards data tracking, why are we all still so unshakably convinced it's the mic? Well, the answer, it turns out, has less to do with technology and a whole lot more to do with our own psychology.
It all comes down to this funny little trick our brains play on us called attention bias. Think about it. You are bombarded with hundreds, maybe thousands of ads a day that are completely wrong about you, and you just tune them out. They're just wallpaper. But then that one ad pops up for Peruvian hiking boots right after you talked about it, and it feels like undeniable proof. Your brain flags it, locks it into memory, and completely forgets about the thousands of misses. It just remembers the one spooky hit. So let's bring this all together. It's time to put the myth and the reality side by side so we can see what the real conversation about privacy should actually be about.
This really breaks it down, doesn't it? So the myth is that your phone records your chats, but the reality? Nah, your online behavior is what's tracked. The myth is that seeing that one ad is proof. The reality is that it's just a really, really good prediction, with a little bit of coincidence thrown in. And we think turning off the mic is the solution. But all that does is stop the audio. That data detective just keeps right on working.
So let's just reframe this. The fear is of an eavesdropper, a hidden spy. But the reality is the existence of an incredibly efficient data detective. And it's building a profile of you from your digital fingerprints.
And this right here is the bottom line. Worrying about your microphone is kind of like focusing on the wrong suspect. The much bigger and much more real privacy issue is this vast, incredibly detailed, and surprisingly accurate digital profile that's being built about you from your everyday online behavior.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this thought. The next time you see one of those ads that's just a little too accurate, the question to ask isn't, was my phone listening to me? The real question is, what clues did I leave behind? What story is my data telling about me? That is the real mystery we should all be trying to solve.